have reason to think that you're not going to be able to have children? Wow, that's a tough one. My heart goes out to you. Would you like to talk about it today? Would you like to hear my story? I can tell it to you very quickly. I found out when I was 26 that because of some surgery I had, I couldn't have children. And that was devastating. It was kind of the end of my first life. I've talked about it elsewhere. End of my husband, end of living where I was living. It was devastating for me. I can't tell you that I know how you feel, but I do know what it feels like to get that message, and I know the grief that comes with it. So the thoughts I'm sharing with you today are thoughts from 1976, when I found out I couldn't have children. A lot has changed since then. What I'm going to talk to you about is what I would do now, having learned from life what I've learned in all these years. My hope, my desire, my intention is to share that so that it's a gift to you and helps you along this tough journey. And my promise to you is life can get better. In fact, it can be so much better after this news. There can and there should be a happy ending. The first thing, though, is to acknowledge that you have the right to be sad. When this happens, people are going to want to tell you that you shouldn't be sad. They're telling you that because they're sad and they can't handle all their feelings about it. And so they want you to perk up. It's just like when someone dies, which in a way, this is like a death, right? The death of the children that you were expecting to have. And so they tell you, oh, get over it. You shouldn't be so sad. It's really okay. Well, no, you get to feel sad about it. Many of our cultures, particularly in Northern America, don't give you time to grieve. Take time to be sad. My experience is that it can be a year of just feeling sad. After a year, if that sadness persists, then you have to start wondering, is this depression? And that's when it's time to go get some kind of therapist to work with you on where are you on the sadness range? Is it just normal sadness, which you're certainly entitled to, or is it sticky sadness that you're going to need some help to get out? When you are ready, find your community. I was so excited to see how much support there is out there for women that wasn't there when I went through this. And there are two places I looked that look particularly good. I can't guarantee it. I haven't been through it. Do your own checking into it. But there are two that stood out to me as places to start to find community. The first one is called Resolve, Resolve, resolve.org. And it is a community that includes tons of resources, mostly about IVF. And it has fertility resources, communities of women facing infertility challenges, advice on what to do if you're dealing with infertility. I've spent some time on the site. That's where I would start if my first desire was to go for a biological child that I was, somehow related to, or if I was thinking about using a surrogate with both, donor egg, donor sperm, whatever. Resolve looks like a great first place. And also it's good to just know there are resources out there for you if that's the journey you want to go on, because that's a challenging one and you can do it. Another resource that I thought was really great is a nonprofit in the US called Creating a Family. This one is really cool because their focus is on adoption and kinship and foster care. So what they do is look at how to bring a child into your life who may have some complications, legal, physical, whatever. And they have all these resources about what if you want to adopt a child that needs you particularly? What if you want to work on a foreign adoption? What if you want to do an adoption in the US? How does that work? Where are the places you can go? For me, it looked like a really great place to start. If I were in the situation again, I would probably choose adoption, and I might choose a child who's a little bit older. It's up to you, but there are two great resources that I can give you to start with. If you're going through this experience and you have comments on places that are a good place to start, I would love if you left them down below so that other people can learn a life lesson from you as well. This is one that requires a lot of work on boundaries. And this is one where I have seen serious challenges along the way. Don't let anyone else tell you what to do. Don't let anyone else tell you what to do. If in your heart you don't want to bring a child into your life, then don't do it. If you are infertile and you want to focus on something else and life has worked out for you so that that's a good choice, great. I am with you, sister, and can't wait to see what you do with your life. If you do want a child, however you want to have that child, that is on you. And the reason I am being so emphatic about it is that I have known way too many women who say, my partner has kids and doesn't want any more kids. Or my partner never wants to have kids. Or my partner doesn't want to adopt kids. It goes on and on. My partner wants this, my partner wants that. In your heart of hearts, if you want kids, that's on you. You go forward. If your partner does not want to support you in that journey, they're out. Okay, maybe that's a good way to find out who they were. Not the right one for you. I gotta tell you, I have seen too many times where there was a relationship, the woman wanted kids. I'll just use a cis woman example. The woman wanted kids. The guy said no. Eventually they break up. The guy moves on, chooses a woman 20 years younger and has a baby. Oh, talk about heartbreak. No, no, no. You don't want to end up there. That is a bad road to travel. So you decide. And I have to say, I'm really impressed with the celebrities who are out there about choosing to adopt children who need them and building these gorgeous families with them. I was reading yesterday, it must have been in one of the new magazines, Charlize Theron, who's gorgeous and from South Africa, has two incredibly beautiful kids that she adopted from home. They have different amounts of melanin in their skin, and that's fine, right? It's a little bit of a different challenge, but it's okay. You follow your heart, right? I promised you there are happy endings. So I am going to use myself as a happy ending. My body has not created a single child. I thought, wow, that's the end of me. Because of that, I ended up doing other things. And the work I did somehow brought children, grandchildren, great-grandchildren to me. I have more children, grandchildren, and great-grandchildren in my life than I ever would have had I birthed them. And the cool thing about it, for me and for them, is when you have your own kids, you see yourself in the child, and you see the things about yourself in the child that you don't like, and that can make for friction, right? That's just a normal parent-child thing that resolves with grandparents. But because the 2, 3, 4, 5, I'm thinking of how many kids I have. Because I didn't bring them into the world, I just think they're pure love. I don't see anything I don't like in them. I love them completely, totally, unconditionally. And they so support me that I've been free to create that love exponentially. That's my happy ending. You will have one too. I thought that not having kids was the end of the road. It was the end of a road, and it was opening up into this beautiful 16-lane highway that I'm zipping back and forth, and I think you will too. Love yourself, follow your heart, look upstairs, look to your community, you can make this be a beautiful next step in your life. I hope so.